Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Educational Wednesday video. Today we are on the fifth principle of Contagious, talking about practical values. Now this chapter is awesome. There's a lot of cool things and psychology things that you haven't thought about. And there's going to be a lot of scenario playouts throughout this video. And I just want you guys to really think about what your choice would be, because it's really interesting to see how retail stores and stores in general get you sort of thinking in a different mindset and get you in this kind of routine route, and you start thinking, oh, I'm getting a really good deal, when really it might not be the best deal. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's talk about the 4 points of today's video and today's chapter. The first one is people share practically valuable information to help others. The second is we're going to talk about the way people put on sales and discounts. The third is going to be diminishing sensitivity to monetary things and to the amount of money. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And the fourth one is the rule of 100. That being said, let's go back to the first one. People, and throughout this video, I just want you guys to think about this. People share practically valuable information to help others. People don't share information if they don't think it's going to help someone, which goes back to all the other videos I made on Contagious. You want to make content and stuff that people want to share to help others. Again, when there's an emailing campaign and companies, it's bodybuilding. If the author talks about making investments, I forgot what company it was, but one bank actually sent him emails every week or every month on investment advice, which then he was able to share out to people that he knew he could help, which were great. Those people were grateful for him for reaching out and giving him the information, or getting them the information that would help them. And in return, he got back in contact with them. He wasn't interested in the email campaign, but he was able to send it off to someone else, so they saw that he cared about them. It was a practical value and had valuable information, and he was able to send it out to help someone else. So that's the first one. Think about how you can use that in your own life to bring practically valuable information to other people to help them. Like we talked about in Go Giver and in other videos, you want to constantly keep giving back to people. Second one, we're going to talk about sales. So we got a couple scenarios for you guys. The first one is this. You're going to the store, you see a grill on sale. Now, here's the catch. Scenario A, the first scenario. You see the grill, originally it's priced at $350. All right? And it's going for $250 right now. So $100 off. Do you stop right there and buy it, or do you go to another store and look around to see if you get a better deal? All right, choose right now. Scenario 2 or B is you have another store and you could buy the grill for $255, or $255 is the price of the grill, and on sale it's $240. So again, $15 off. Do you spend more time looking around the area to see if you can get a better deal on the grill? The question is, which one would you buy on the spot if you knew, or if you knew that was a good deal? The one that went from $350 to $250, or the one that went from $255 to $240? Now, obviously, the second option is the one that's the best deal because it's cheaper. But over 70%, I believe it was 75% of people actually went ahead and bought scenario A because there was a bigger discount on it. It was $100 off, so it made a bigger impact. And so people focus on big, huge numbers. Another one is this guy right here. And I'm just going to read off the notes here so I get the right numbers. When you look at info commercials, right, and then they start selling you, let's say, a set of knives or just anything in general, you see this a lot with a lot of businesses, entrepreneurs, everything that you buy. They're telling you, oh my God, look, you get all this stuff, a set of knives, all this. Original value would be, between $100 to $200. You're getting all this knife set, which would cost you only $200. And you could get all today for $39.99 if you call right now And if you call right now, we'll throw in an extra set of knives and all cutting boards and all that stuff. But you see how when you set expectations, the whole point of that scenario was you set a price expectation for people. People were like, okay, so I would originally buy this at $200, man, and now it's going for $40, and I get all this extra stuff on top of it. Man, that's a no-brainer. You know, I want to go ahead and buy it at $40 when I know that the original value is at $200. So this is a huge, it's like 50% off. Even if it was valued at $100, it's still 50%, 60% off. Man, I like that. I want to get it. And you go ahead and you get that impulse to go ahead and buy it. That's an interesting way that a lot of infomercials get you. Now, moving on to the third point that I want to make is the diminishing sensitivity when it comes to prices and money. So there's going to be two examples here. Let's take a look at the first one. Let's say you see a product on sale. It's $25, it's $35, but if you drive 20 minutes from here, you can get it for $25. Done deal, $10 off. Would you go for it? Probably. $10 is pretty huge. Now, you go and you see a product, it's $6.50, and if you drive 20 minutes, it's $6.40. So again, $10 off. Which one would you go for? The one that you could save $10 from $35 to $25, or the one you could take from $6.50 to $6.40? Which one would you be more willing to drive 20 minutes for? Most people would pick the first scenario because of how much of a huge difference that makes to them compared to the $6.50 to $6.40. You're like, oh, it's only $10. 20-minute drive is not, that's not worth it, whatever, I don't care. But it's a much bigger impact when it's such a lower number because, 35 to 25, you're not trying, you feel like you're spending a lot more than you actually are. Moving on to the second example, let's take a look at you winning the lottery. Now, just bear with me and just think about how it affects you and how you think about it, how you feel after the scenario. So, you win the lottery, you get $10. Or you win the lottery and you get $20. Man, you feel pretty good. You got, extra $10. Dude, that's awesome. Double the price, right? You like that. Okay, now let's say you get $110 through the lottery and now you get $120. Now you're like, okay, sick, $10, that's pretty good. It's not as good as going from 10 to 20, but it's still pretty good. And now look at it this way. If you won $1,010, or if you won $1,020, what do you think about that? That impact isn't there. You're just like, oh man, like it's $1,000, it's $10, that's not a big difference, petty change, right? But when it's $10 to $20, see how there's much of a bigger difference and how we think of like, oh my God, like I made so much more money in this 10 to 20 than I did from 1,010 to 1,020. Even though they're both $10 differences, it just makes we get to the point where diminishing sensitivity kicks in, where eventually it gets to the point where, if we win $1 million, and $1 million and 1,000, or if we win $1 million and 2,000, I mean, you're just like, well, it's only $1,000. Like, I still won $1 million. So there's not that much of a big difference. We're not as sensitive to the price changes when it gets to such a higher number. Which leads me to the fourth example and point that I want to talk about today, which is the rule of 100. So the rule of 100 basically states that if you have a product, service, whatever you're trying to sell, and it's less than $100, focus on having percent discounts. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, if you're selling, let's say, I'm not going to use gum because that's pretty cheap. Let's say you're selling a shirt for $30, $20, right? And let's say you can get $5 off of that shirt. Now let's say if I told you you can get 20% off. I think I'm doing the math right. If I'm not, forgive me. But now that you think about it, you're like, okay, well, this one's $5 off, but this one's 20% off. Such a higher number of percentage. It makes you feel like, oh my God, like I'm getting a really good deal there. I mean, you're getting the same deal either way, but using a bigger percentage number makes you feel like, oh my God, like that's cool, like I get a bigger discount. But that's only if the dollar amount is less than 100. If it's more than 100, you want to focus on numerical discounts. Reason being for, let's say you're buying about, no, that's probably too big, but let's say you're buying a TV for $1,000. Now let's say you get 20% off. So yeah, you save $200, it's cost you $80. But now, what if we sell that same TV and you get $200 off, making it $800, same amount, but there's a different way we perceive that $200 off than 20% off, right? When it's a higher price, when it's more than $100, you want to use actual number statements, actual money, dollar signs off, actual dollars off the sale. That's when we see a lot of TVs, they show you how much of a discount you're getting in dollars, not actual percentages, because of this rule of 100. If it's less than 100, use percentage discounts. If it's more than 100, use numerical discounts. Simple as that. Such an easy tactic, but it's such a good way to get customers to look at your products a lot differently and more likely to go ahead and actually buy them because they feel like they're getting a really good discount and they really feel like they're getting that practical value aspect of this chapter. That being said, though, hopefully you enjoyed these main 4 points. We went over people share practically valuable information to help others. We went through a couple sales examples. We went through number 3 was we went through diminishing sensitivity when it comes to looking at making 10 or 20 or making 1010 and 1020. And the last one we went through the rule of 100, which if you have less than 100, it's a percentage. If you have more than $100 worth of product, you use a numerical discount. That being said, hopefully you enjoyed this chapter. I really enjoyed rereading and looking at this chapter to give you guys the information and bring in the most valuable information for you, your business, your service, wherever you are in life. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in another one of my videos. Peace out.